Welcome to the Inflow podcast. I am your host, Michelle Bosch. I see a gaping hole across society that focuses on the outer work and forgets about the inner work, when what we really need is to bridge the gap between prosperity and spirituality to live a life in flow, with inflows of light, inflows of cash, inflows of creativity, inflows of grace in our lives. Each week, join me for powerful messages and interviews that will leave you inspired and ready to step into flow in your higher work. So now, let's go. Welcome to the Inflow Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Bosch. Excited to be with you guys today and discuss with you some insights in regards to big shifts that I'm seeing right now happening across the world, not just here in the US, but across societies that have come as a result of the pandemic. And that is, the last 18 months or 19 months have served as an opportunity for people to really reevaluate, their life and what they're doing and where they're going and the things that they really do care about and would love to see happen in their lives, experience on a daily basis. And it's basically given the chance for people to see that, this punching the time clock for someone else on a 9 to 5, working for possibly a shitty boss, with a nasty commute, and doing work that doesn't bring them meaning or purpose, or that doesn't help them advance in any way, that's no longer a valid path or trajectory to follow in life. And so people are much more aware of the things that bother them when it comes to, having freedom. And when I talk about freedom, I'm talking about the freedom of money, freedom of time, freedom of relationships, and freedom of purpose. And so if you think about it, botherations, things that bother you, are the raw material that really allow you to grow. They're the raw material that are the catalyst for you to grow in a different direction. And that's basically what, I think the entire world has woken up to, over the last year and a half or so, is really this evaluation that, that I'm bothered by what I have created so far, and it's things that I have done in the past that have brought me to my present. And that if we want to live a different future, that this present today requires different decisions, different things, to do. A lot of people are basically leaving their 9 to 5s and they're deciding that they want to start a business of some sort, that they want to start investing. They want to basically go and test the waters in the entrepreneurial world. And for that reason, I think it is important if you are such a person that is considering that, you have to think about there's 4 pillars of business that are super, super important for you to understand before you endeavor and before you decide that you want to go down any path. And the very first pillar of a business, that really rests upon the founder of the business and are so crucial, in my opinion, for that business to actually succeed. Because I don't know if you know this, but about 80% of all small businesses that start fail in the startup phase, because I believe this is something that nobody talks about, but that is so crucial and so important. And it's understanding the why of the founder, of the business owner that starts that company. That is kind of like the engine of why you're going to go out there and into this path. And it could be that part of your why is incredible, deep discontent with your life right now, with your work right now. And another, possibility for going down this different trajectory and this different path is pleasure. You want to experience new things. You want to travel the world. You want to travel the US. You want to, focus on memories, not things. Or perhaps you do want to, a bigger lifestyle and a bigger income and a bigger future. And so that why is so important. It really serves as a North Star for you, so that when you decide, okay, I have found my what, which is the strategy that you're going to use to actually, create freedom of money, time, relationships, and purpose, that you stay grounded, in that why, when the obstacles, when the challenges show up. So that's pillar number one, is the why. Pillar number two is the what. You want to be looking and evaluating, what skill sets do you have, and what are things that you're passionate about? What are things that could give you the quick cash injections that you need in order to either replace the job that you just left or that you're looking to leave, and that can bring that to you in the most simple way. I'm always about how can I simplify, to multiply my results, and how can I, and it's not that I shy away from hard work, but it allows you to really focus your energy down into one path, one strategy that has the biggest potential to really create and see results and ripples, positive ripples, in your income right away. It's almost like a way of identifying opportunities out there, where you're going to be like, okay, which of these opportunities that are out there, whether that be, I don't know, starting a franchise, or going out there and doing freelance work, depending on, what your skill set is, or consulting, or maybe it's investing in real estate and going from an entrepreneurial standpoint, becoming an active investor, that's the case. You want to evaluate those opportunities and look at them. Okay, which of these is the simplest one, and is the one that is going to bring me the highest, returns, or the highest results in the shortest period of time, so that I can get momentum and get things in motion really quickly, so that I can eventually, start investing, because every business owner should invest in, whose people, mentors, strategy, and should invest in technology and in team to come and help them, continue to develop that business. But you cannot even invest in that if you don't have quick, cash injections and results to begin with. So it's a matter of evaluating opportunities out there, when it comes to an entrepreneurial venture or journey, of what is the simplest one that can give me the fastest results, with the largest cash injections. At least that's how I go about, evaluating one in the beginning. And if there's one that is worth pursuing, that I'm deeply passionate about, it's not like I completely discard it, but I leave it in a parking lot to continue doing research, or to hire someone that can come and help me develop that, and bring it forward in parallel, while my focus is really someplace else. Because the whole point here is your focus doesn't want to, shouldn't be diverted, especially at the beginning when you're starting a business. If your focus is diverted and you have a bunch of distractions, what's going to happen is, more than likely, if you have 2 or 3 little companies that you're trying to grow, all 3 are going to fail and stumble at that startup phase. So you want to focus your energies. So that's the what, that's how I would go about evaluating what's out there. And if you already found yourself a superior strategy that can give you 10x results, and that can really allow you to scale, because at the end of the day, scale is what allows you to have the opportunity of practice and repetition, especially if you're a new and beginning investor or entrepreneur. You want to have the practice of creating a lead, qualifying that lead, closing that lead. And then, on the purchasing side, because more than likely you're buying something, and then reselling it to someone else. Or if it's your own services, as, I don't know, as a teacher, as a piano teacher, as a meditation expert, or whatever it might be, whatever type of entrepreneurial venture that you decide that you want to go in. I mean, you're going to have to master lead generation, marketing. You're going to have to master sales. You're going to have to actually fulfill on your service and delivery, and deliver the results that you promise. Or if it's going to be, from an investment standpoint, you're going to have to find the inventory, the lead that is going to sell the property to you at a lower amount. You're going to have to figure out, the team and the process in place to close on that deal, or put it under contract, find a buyer, close on that deal as well, or double close. and actually make money and get cash in the bank excuse me, in the shortest period of time. So that's the second pillar, is a what. The third pillar is, in my opinion, one of the most crucial pillars that people forget about, and that is the who. And when I'm talking about the who is not just who is coming along with you. That is true. It could be in the form of mentors, in the form of new peers that are coming along with you, or what environments of new peers are you going to put yourself in deliberately so that you can grow to the level of business that you're looking to grow in whatever it is that you're looking to start. Say it's land flipping, land investing. Can you find yourself a community of land flippers that are already doing, multiple six figures, or are already doing even seven figures, that are going to allow you to collapse time by mentoring you and by sharing with you every single resource, every single tactic and nuance and change, because the business and the marketplace in general are constantly changing and evolving. Yeah. And the things that worked, 2 years ago no longer work today. So you want to be in an environment where people are ahead of you in the trenches, and having the results that you want, and that are sharing with you, that have that value of chasing excellence, number one, and of being transformational to others, of being transparent with others, and sharing with you what they're doing, to basically get yourself to the next level. So that who is so important. And the who, that's in reference right now so far that I've discussed, in reference to the outside world. But the most important who, and let's not forget that, the most important who here, when starting a business, whether it be a land flipping business or whatever business it is, it's really you. You, again, are the engine of that business. And it requires that you also create this mental shift from being just a passive, participant, or a person that gets driven just for a few days or a few weeks by shiny pennies, and that has entrepreneurial ADD, and that cannot make up their mind on what they want to focus on. It requires that there is a mental shift in you as well, to not just go from somebody that is tasting like a butterfly, all kinds of different flowers, or what is it, the hummingbird, actually tasting all kinds of different flowers, but actually decide on what is the one thing that is best for you right now, in the circumstances that you're in right now, that is the simplest, that can give you the biggest bang for your buck. And so it'll require that you see yourself and make a shift from being a person that is just constantly looking out to the next thing and the next thing, to somebody that focuses and that sees themselves as a leader in that one thing, that is willing to strive to become the best at that one thing, that has the discipline to stay focused until you have mastered that one thing, versus trying to be the jack of all trades and then being master of absolutely nothing. Yeah. That's not, when you see people like Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, he had the discipline, even though he saw the potential in so many other ways in which Amazon could grow. For the first 7 years of his business, he focused exclusively on selling books, even though he knew the potential of Amazon, which we see it today, to this day, and it'll only continue to expand. But for those first 7 critical years, he was willing to focus, to have the discipline to basically validate that business and really bring it forward, so that scale, that level of scale and cash injections that he was getting from that discipline of focusing on that one thing could serve him for future growth, for future technological investments, for future investments in people and more who's, in partnerships, in expansion of his of his marketplace, of relationships, of partnerships, etc. So, but at the beginning, he focused on one thing. So it requires that you see yourself as, instead of being a jack of all trades, a master of one thing. And in order to become a master, you need to see yourself as a leader, as with a new identity, with a new with a new identity, with a new with a reinvention, you reinventing your identity, in declaring that you are, whether it's 6 or 7 figures, a 6 or 7 figure entrepreneur in whatever space it is, or land flipper. If land flipping is a thing, for you. So that's pillar number 3. And then pillar 4 is the how. How are you going to get there? Are there others ahead of you that already have the templates, the scripts, that already have the processes, the systems in place, so that you can just plug in versus having to do that from scratch yourself, and waste basically countless number of money and time on things that people are already doing out there, and they're doing them at an amazing level where you can just basically plug in. So that's one aspect of the how. But also another aspect of the how is, how are you going to structure your success? There's 4 stages of, just like we're discussing the 4 pillars of a business, there's 4 stages of growth in a business. And the first one is startup. The second one is build up. The third one is build out. And then comes mastery. Yeah. So how are you going to structure your rhythm of success? Are you going to focus on the first, 90 days on mastering the startup phase, and getting that, that business to actually revenue generating and actual cash in the bank? That should be the focus of every entrepreneur that starts a new business, depending, of course, on the type of business. But at least in the land flipping business, a 90-day horizon and time frame is absolutely reasonable. And we see it countless times and times again being done by our students, where in the first 90 days, they have figured out the cash part with the first set of deals. And those first set of deals and that cash is being reinvested into the company, so that you can move on to the next phase, which is actually build up. And that is basically you ramping up your volume and scaling and sending out more mailings, or bringing a VA, or you could bring the VA in the next 90 days, which is the what we like to call the build out phase, where you're not just doing this yourself, but you're now bringing in team, and you have processes in place, and you have access to people that have already those systems and those processes in place, so that you can bring team with ease, so that have the formula on how to delegate tasks, so that you actually meet your goals for that quarter, or for the next 6 months, or for the year. So that's the how, and that's pretty much the 4th pillar. And it all started with us talking about how botherations, and things that are bothering us right now in our life could be the triggers and the raw material to perhaps, start a new entrepreneurial venture. And if you did start a new entrepreneurial venture, now you have the tools, or you have a better understanding of the 4 pillars that you're going to have to really consider and work on to start your new business. So in those 4 pillars were the why, the what, the who, and the how. So I hope this was of service to you. If you're ready to jump into the how, if you have found your who's and the community of people that are looking to really elevate you and engineer your next level of success, I congratulate you. If you're in the land flipping world and you know that land flipping is the way to go for you, we would love to partner with you and link arms with you and help you, of course, be part of your who's, of those people that come along with you, and help you get to that next level, teaching you all the hows, all the tactics, all the strategies from people that are actually in the trenches, doing the work, eating their own cooking, and knowing what is working right now, what the latest and greatest is working, so that your whatever that what was, and your why, the what being the vision that you want for your life, for the future, and the why being why you're doing it, which for most of us, it's family. It's the ability to really provide for our families in a way that they deserve, that we know that we deserve, not just in lifestyle, but in experiences, in ability to contribute to to the transformation of others. And if that's you, I would love to invite you to come and join us into our Land Profit Masters coaching program. We're actually open. Our doors to the Land Profit Master coaching program are open. We have few spots still that we're trying to, fill in for this year. And once we close the doors in a couple of days, then we pretty much go ahead and put all our focus in onboarding our incoming class and getting that next class to success. If you would like to talk to us and apply and see whether you are a fit for us as well, because we're only looking for business athletes, for people that see themselves as leaders, that want to be trailblazers in their families, and that want to be pioneers, that are willing to go first. Become the first ones that, become millionaires in their families. We have a track history of success of creating and, making millionaires. And we would love to help you. You can go to landcoaching.com, and book a call and apply and talk to one of our land experts there that can, together with you, really decide on whether we're a good fit for each other. And if we are ready to embark on this new journey together of, the 4 pillars of business, of building up a foundation that is unshakable and that can allow you explosive growth so that you can become unstoppable in that vision that you have for you and your family and the goals that you want to accomplish in 2022. Thank you so much. And until the next one, bye-bye.
I hope this episode left you feeling inspired and ready to get inflows of cash, inflows of light, and inflows of faith in your life. I welcome your reviews on iTunes. Please leave me a review and help me create an amazing community of women in flow. Thank you, as always, for sharing your voice by going to michellebosch.com and joining the conversation about this show. And while you're there, grab a copy of my 10 Commandments to Living a Life in Flow. You can also follow me on Facebook at Michelle Bosch and on Instagram at Michelle Bosch Official. Thank you very much, and until the next one.